In a small village nestled among rolling green hills, there lived a curious boy named Matteo. He was 9 years old and had a heart full of adventure. He never went anywhere without his little backpack, always stuffed with tasty snacks and a special notebook for all his drawings. One warm afternoon, the sun was shining brightly, and Matteo decided it was the perfect day to explore the forest near his home. The trees stood tall like ancient giants, and the sunlight danced between the leaves, scattering tiny golden stars all over the ground. It was magical. As he walked deeper along the winding path, he heard a soft, rustling sound coming from the bushes. It was a gentle, quiet noise. "Hello, Matteo," called out, his voice full of bravery. And then, out from behind a large bush, stepped a small orange fox. She had the brightest eyes and a beautiful, fluffy tail that swished back and forth. Matteo stood still, amazed. The fox didn't run away like he thought she would. Instead, she just tilted her head and looked at Matteo with a kind, curious expression. She seemed friendly. "Are you lost?" Matteo whispered, not wanting to scare her. The little fox made a soft, happy sound and wagged her tail, just like a puppy. A big smile spread across Matteo's face. He knew this was a special moment. "I'll call you Zorrita," he sighed gently, reaching out a hand. Zorrita started walking right beside him, as if they had been best friends for their entire lives. It felt like she was meant to be his guide. She showed him secret paths he had never seen before, covered in colorful wildflowers. She led him to a tiny stream where the water sparkled like a river of diamonds. She even showed him a special tree that grew the sweetest, juiciest berries in the whole forest. Matteo filled his pockets with them, sharing a few with his new friend. They spent the afternoon exploring, drawing in his notebook, and laughing together. But suddenly, the sky began to change. Dark clouds gathered overhead, and a low rumble of thunder echoed in the distance. The wind picked up, rustling the leaves. Matteo started to feel nervous. The forest didn't seem so friendly anymore. He wasn't sure which way was home, but just as he started to worry, Zorrita nudged his leg with her nose and began to trot quickly in one direction. Looking back to make sure he was following, Matteo trusted her and ran to keep up. She led him through the trees, her orange fur a bright beacon in the dimming light. Soon, she brought him to a small cave, hidden perfectly behind a thick curtain of green vines. They snuggled inside, dry and safe, just as the rain began to pour down outside. Matteo could hear the storm raging, but inside the cave, it was peaceful. "You're very smart, Zorrita," Matteo said, gently petting her soft fur. The little fox leaned into his touch, content. When the storm finally passed, the sun came out again, and a beautiful, brilliant rainbow stretched across the sky, arching right over the forest. Matteo knew it was time to go home. His family would be worried. Zorrita led him back to the edge of the forest, right where his village began. Matteo knelt down to say goodbye. "Thank you, Zorrita," he whispered, feeling a little sad. "To leave. I'll never, ever forget you." Zorrita gave a happy little jump, as if to say, "You're welcome," and then with a final flick of her tail, she disappeared back into the trees. The last thing he saw was her fluffy orange tail, waving goodbye. From that day on, whenever Matteo visited the forest, he felt a special sense of peace. He knew he was never truly alone, because his friend Zorrita was always there, watching over him. Thanks for watching our story. If you enjoyed Matteo and Zorrita's adventure, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more wonderful tales. See you next time.